good? You got my name's Ruben. We're back with a reaction video for today. For today, guys, we're going to be reacting to 3 true cemetery horror stories to give you goosebumps. So, you know, when it comes to freaking cemeteries and all those grave sites and all those type of graveyard type of stuff, I don't mess with none of those type of things. You do not mess with any of those. If your friend tells you to go there and let's try to do some stuff in the nighttime, you happily decline. Because you know what's going to happen to them. They will get clucked up while you have no freaking... You're just physically fine. They will be having scratches all over their body the next day. Exactly. So let's get right into the video. Smash that like button and let's get it. Haven't reacted to Mr. Nightmare in a minute. Let's get it. Oh, Lord. Heck no. Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
When I was 19, my friend Sean, who was a big goofball, came over to chill in our basement as he often would during the summer.
That's a nice-ass basement.
I remember he had a Coke bottle in his hand and I was eating Wendy's when he said we should check out that creepy little cemetery across town.
This is where you happily decline. Nope. We are not checking no cemetery. We're sitting down, keep drinking your freaking disgusting ass Coke while I eat my delicious Wendy's. Let's watch some movies. What the frick are we going to a cemetery?
It was the most random idea ever, and I even told him that. Still, we had no school the next day, and I knew exactly which cemetery he was talking about. I don't know if one should even call it a regular cemetery.
What do you mean?
It's just a small plot of land with maybe 100 tombstones at most.
Still?
The tombstones very archaic looking, and any time we'd pass, there would be no signs of anyone having come to visit within the last decade.
Good.
The site probably dated back centuries, and it had this super creepy vibe to it because it was closed off by a gothic metal fence, and it was surrounded by woods on 2 sides, the road on one, and some old abandoned building on the other.
For you to have this much detail into what the frick is going on and how it looks like, it should give you more detailed common sense for you not to do this. But you're stupid, so you have no common sense, so you will do this.
Everything about it just gave scary vibes. It took a little persuading, but Sean managed to get me to want to check it out too. Ironically, it was a very cloudy, wettish kind of day. I guess conveniently adding to the mood.
Oh, frick.
Sean pulled up his Honda to the side of the road. I told him to pull up more so it wasn't obvious. This was a low traffic road, so it would look kind of suspicious. He pulled up a few hundred feet down the road, and we got out and cut through the woods so that any potential passing traffic wouldn't see us entering the little cemetery.
Oh my gosh.
Hopping the fence in the woods was easy. It was maybe a 3 or 4 foot fence.
You have to go through the woods! You have to go through the woods to get to the cemetery! Oh, man.
Sean kind of took the lead on this since it was mainly his venture. He led us through the eerie little plot of land, and we looked at the archaic tombstones. They all seemed to be from the 19th century. The writing on some of them was illegible at that point. I know it sounds super dumb and cliche, but I couldn't help but feel like I was being watched constantly. I started looking around the surrounding woods. I told Sean how creepy this was. "I know," he replied. Still, with the feeling of being watched, I looked at the abandoned building next to the cemetery, at one of the windows.
Okay.
For a brief moment, I knew I saw someone standing at the window.
Nope.
Even through the fog, smudge, and dirt on the glass.
No, you did not.
I casually either ducked or walked away from the window. I told Sean we were being watched by someone in that building.
Yep.
He turned to look at it as well. Then he went to look for the entrance to it. I told him don't. I said we should just leave before we get in trouble.
Yeah.
I stayed still by the tombstone he was looking at while he walked around the building.
Your friend's stupid.
He called me over, but I stayed put.
Nope.
Then I heard some loud kind of crack.
Oh!
I looked in that direction, and there was this older man, probably around 55. Gray hair, had on a black raincoat, I believe he was wearing jeans, and he had a mustache.
I'm sorry, sir.
That's all I really got of him. Then he opened his mouth and screamed. Not just yelled, he screamed, "Get out."
Wow.
He screamed it so loud, I thought I saw birds fly away from being startled.
Oh my gosh.
And just like that, I started to feel lightheaded, and suddenly everything went dark.
What?
The next thing I remember was waking up to being dragged in the woods. I freaked out, thinking I was being kidnapped. But when I turned and got up, I saw it was just Sean. Sean was freaking out about something. He told me to follow him and run back to the car.
What the
So
frick?
I didn't ask questions. As we ran through the woods, I heard something close behind me, and when I turned, I realized we were being followed by someone, so I ran even faster.
Yep.
We got to his Honda, and he basically put it in drive before the car even had a chance to fully start.
Yeah.
When Sean was inside that abandoned building, he found a sigil of Baphomet painted on the
Woo! They are doing demonic. They're oh my gosh. They're trying to uplift the freaking spirits from that cemetery. Oh my gosh. When you see one of these, you haul ass immediately, no questions asked. You got me all the way messed up. Oh my goodness.
which is basically the sign of Satan. Around it were a bunch of freaky dolls with buttons for eyes. He didn't get to see anything else in the building because he heard the old man scream at me outside. He came running to find me passed out on the floor, and he saw the old man slowly walking over to me. He started to drag me away from the old man and into the woods. He actually literally picked me up and threw me over the fence to get me out.
Oh my gosh.
I quickly came back to consciousness, and that's when we ran. I had only fainted one time in my life, and it was at that moment.
Wow.
I don't know why I fainted.
Because you were scared. You were that scared because of everything that's been going on.
It happening at a graveyard with some kind of satanic ritual building right next to it makes it that much stranger.
Idiots. Y'all should have just drank your Coke and freaking ate your Wendy's. Stay your fat ass back inside.
My grandpa passed away a few years ago.
R.I.P.
I was always very close with him. This past July, on his birthday, I took him
Damn.
a visit at the cemetery. The cemetery he and my grandma chose to be buried at was about an hour drive from my apartment. My family lived closer, so they all went to his grave together. I had to go separately. It was a rainy, depressing day, and there's nothing worse than visiting a cemetery on a gloomy day. The gatekeeper of the gate asked for the plot number. I gave it to him, and he let me in. It's a pretty big cemetery, and I'd only been there a couple other times. Not as the driver, though, so I had a hard time finding it. I didn't see many other people, if any, at the cemetery that day. I'm sure the weather had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Eventually, I found his stone and parked my car in the grass to the side. I put some flowers down under his stone, stood there for a while with my eyes closed, and prayed. When I finished my prayer, I opened my eyes and looked up. There was an old man.
Woo! Woo! Grandpa? Grandpa, is that freaking you? Nope, that ain't you. You're in the ground. Who the frick is that? Oh my gosh, that prayer. Yo, what did you pray, bro? What did you say in your prayer, bro?
Waves down, but directly across from me, and he was looking right at me.
Shoot.
I knew this man, though. It was my grandfather.
No.
But no, it couldn't
Oh, you gotta be
be.
clocked.
He was gone. Did I just have a spiritual moment?
Oh, Jesus
My
Christ
mind
of
playing
Nazareth.
Either way, I got the chills and I had goosebumps. I was quite honestly freaked out. I got back in my car, said, "Love you, Grandpa," and drove off. I felt like I had a headache on my way home. Not sure why. I was the only car on Prospect Road, a quiet road with dense forest on either side.
Oh,
Commonly,
heck
there
no.
would be deer crossing here. As my car zipped down the road, I spotted someone on the side of the road coming up. which
What
was
the
odd.
frick?
There were no sidewalks or a walking path on this road.
Who? Nah, keep driving.
Couldn't be. It looks like my grandpa again.
Keep driving,
I
bro.
realized this, my heart dropped 1,000 feet, and I swerved the car accidentally. I desperately tried to regain control and come to a stop. Luckily, my car didn't end up in a tree.
Good.
Rather, just skidded out in the middle of the road until coming to a halt. I immediately looked back to where I saw him, and I saw a deer on the side of the road, looking at my car. My heart was literally racing. I was
No, that's your grandpa. Your grandpa just formed into a deer just so he can look at you, bro.
terrified.
Oh,
I was
Lord.
not well, and I needed to get home. made sure no cars were coming, and got back in my lane. I focused on the road as best I could given what I had just seen twice. I felt weird the rest of the day. Not sick, but something wasn't right with my head.
Oh, heck
I went
no.
to bed early after watching an episode of my show. I woke up at like 2 in the morning to my phone ringing.
2 in the morning. You know that's cluck hours.
It was an unknown number. My heart started racing again. Any call at this hour couldn't be good news. I accepted the call and put the phone up to my ear. There was static on the other end. Finally, I said, "Hello?" More static. But what I thought I heard next, I couldn't believe.
Whoa, what the frick?
Just briefly, for maybe half a second,
What do you mean?
I thought I heard my grandpa's voice over the static.
Oh, that's crazy.
I tried to say hello.
Oh, that's freaking nuts.
Every part of my body was actually shaking. Then the call cut to silence and ended. I called my phone provider the next day to trace the number. They couldn't. They didn't have enough data to trace it, apparently. I
What?
don't know if that was just bullshit or not. The events that took place that day and night were the scariest I've ever experienced. Do I think my dead grandpa was trying to contact me? I don't
Nope.
know.
Yep.
Because that sounds ridiculous. You'd think if you experienced something like this, you'd be so full of emotion and joy. But no, it still terrifies me. And I really still don't know what to think or how to feel about it.
Oh my goodness.
Whether it sounds ridiculous or not, this happened. And I wonder almost every other night, was that really my grandpa on the phone?
That was your grandpa, bro. Frick is you talking about? This is clocked up. This is clocked. Oh my goodness.
My friends and I were very stupid when we were...
Yes, I have goosebumps. Yeah, go.
I was like 17 or 18 when this happened. It was the month of October, and I wanted to do something scary in the spirit of Halloween.
Screw
There's a
Halloween.
small cemetery about 10 minutes from where I live. And when I was drunk with a couple friends, I said we should sneak into it. I'll
Stupid.
make up some names for my friends, Ryan and Mike. We were at Ryan's house. He didn't drink ever. So when I came up with the idea, he was the one to drive us to the cemetery.
Stupid.
Mike and I were really the ones leading this. Ryan was just along for the ride. But then again, he hadn't been drinking. Ryan parked in some parking lot across the street. It was a ghost town because it was past midnight at that point. We made sure no one was around to see us as we hopped the fence into the cemetery. It wasn't exactly pitch black out, but it was slightly hard to see more than 10 feet in front of us. So we were all using our iPhone flashlights. There didn't appear to be any night security in the cemetery, so we kind of dispersed from each other. Ryan seemed to be following Mike more closely. I could still see where they were because of their flashlights. I went off a little further on my own, and I decided I'd start taking a creepy video.
Why the frick would you
So
go
I
on your
started
own?
recording with the lights still on, of course. I recorded a bunch of old headstones and the general eerie vibe of the cemetery at night. I didn't see Mike and Ryan anymore, so I started to go look for them, still recording. I looked at my phone screen and froze. There was a woman, dressed in a white gown.
Oh, okay. There's a woman in a white gown just standing there. That's where I turn around, act like nothing happened, and haul ass to my room, lock all doors, windows, vents, and sinks.
Or dress, I want to say, with long, gray-looking hair.
Oh! Oh,
Looking down at
shoot!
I looked up from my phone screen to look at her in
Jesus
person.
Christ!
Gone. I started to back away. I looked back at my phone screen, and there she was again. Only now she was looking into the camera, or rather looking at me. I looked up from the phone again and could not see her once more, so I looked back down at the screen again.
You're
I could see
joking!
her moving closer to me. I started to scream for Mike
Yo,
and Ryan
fam!
as I sprinted away from that spot.
You're mod!
I couldn't see their lights anywhere, and they weren't answering my screams. I had a feeling they were going to try to scare me, so I ran back for the fence of the cemetery to hop it and get out.
Yeah!
I made it to Ryan's car and texted the two of them saying they need to get out of the cemetery now. They met me at the car minutes later. We all sat in the car, and I showed them the video I took. They had the same horrified looks on their faces.
Where is this video?
Now that I was actually watching the whole video, I could see the moment the woman slowly lifted her head from looking at the ground to looking at me.
Oh, God.
And she starts to move towards me.
Whoa.
We could only see her moving for like a second or two before I start screaming in the video and running away.
Whoa.
But the way she was moving, we could see no leg movement. It almost seemed as though she were floating to me.
Whoa.
I have that video saved on my old iPhone 4S, but the stupid thing won't turn on. It gets stuck at the Apple logo. I don't want to reset that phone until I can get that video off of it somehow. My friends firmly believe the woman in the video was a real, living person who also happened to be in the cemetery that night.
Yeah.
But me, having been the one to actually find her, and only being able to see her on my phone screen, well, let's just say I was never a believer in the paranormal until that night.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh, this is... Bro, not only you wanted to go to the freaking this graveyard site, you wanted to go when it was dark, when it was misty as heck, and when it was Halloween. You know damn well something was about to happen. Your stupid ass and your stupid ass friends don't have this intellect. You know what I'm saying? Because the frick, I would not be doing this. You got me all the way clucked up. I don't know, bro. Out of the three stories that I've heard, I would probably say this one was the most scariest one. Definitely. Seeing someone... Or no. Oh my gosh. Well, to be honest, let's think about it, bro. It made me scared because of that freaking jump scare. But other than that, it wasn't really scary. The second one was scary because when you really think about it, they had to walk through the forest just to get to the cemetery. And then when they got from there, it was an old ass guy yelling his ass off. And then you freaking fainted. Then there was a devil worshiping thing inside the building. That, oh my goodness, that's too much. That's scary. The first one, not so scary. Still they're all freaking bro. All these freaking people in this freaking store, they're all freaking stupid. They all clucked up multiple times. They had so many opportunities to not do it. For example, not going to in the first place. They would avoid everything. But no, their stupid ass wanted to do it still. Okay. That'll be the end of the video. Man, I feel good to be back making these videos, man. It really just feels good to be back making these videos. I'll keep making videos, keep grinding for y'all. I'm also planning on doing something. So I'm trying to do this thing where throughout the week, starting next week, I'm going to be vlogging here and there, just vlogging stuff here and there throughout the whole week. And then on a Monday, I will post that vlog about what happened for that week, and like, you know, this is just so you guys can see what I do on the daily, or what happens for me, what I do, or well, what be going on in my life. It's not a fun life for me, it really isn't, but a lot of you guys are always interested in me vlogging more, vlogging my freaking being a student at university, whatever. So I'll be definitely doing that next week. Catch you guys later. Take care, and don't go to no freaking cemetery, graveyard site, whatever, for the rest of your life. Just don't. Especially if your friends tell you to. Don't do it. Okay. Catch you guys later. Peace.